What's up? Love the pump music on a Monday morning. Daniel, here today. I know we've been on and off these last 2 weeks, working on getting back to our regular scheduled programming. But today we wanted to talk about our conference that I was just at over in Vegas. And yes, I left a donation in Vegas. I always love going there to donate to the hotels.
Yes.
My favorite charity, I guess you can say that. Go to a conference and donate a little bit more money. I wanted to just talk about some things that we learned there. You and I both use Ylopo for our marketing company, which is our web platform. And it really, things I learned there were not even about Ylopo. It was more about team building and, had some stuff to do, how to use the system and stuff. But like, we came back with a lot of great stuff. There was a lot of good speakers there. Michael Hellickson was there on a panel. Your coach and Tom Ferry had our ending keynote on Wednesday, which is awesome to hear.
Wow.
So really good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I heard, I wasn't there. That was in Las Vegas, but I heard a lot of great things about it. So I was looking forward to hearing all about it. And for those of you who are watching who are not that familiar with Ylopo, it's a marketing system and a marketing platform that realtors and team leaders can buy into. They create, it's a technology company. So they create websites for you. They do marketing on Facebook and on Google, and they use Google LSA, local service ads. And so you can adjust your marketing templates, and they also have very advanced AI. So the AI, when you have leads that come into your website or respond to the marketing that you're doing, the AI can carry on conversations with those leads and help nurture those leads, in the event that the lead's not responded to quickly. But beyond that, they have retargeting. So let's say a lead in your CRM seems stale, you've called them 20 times, they haven't answered. They've just been totally unresponsive. Ylopo will continue to kind of peck at them until eventually they respond. So their AI is really advanced.
I love the AI because it's actually set some appointments into my calendar for me on the leads that I'm working or opportunities. And I'll look at my calendar. I'm like, oh, I have to show a house at 5:30. And it literally drops it in there.
Yes.
And you watch the whole conversation happening.
Yep. And they also have retargeting, which is people that are already in your CRM. You can retarget them on Ylopo. So using their technology to kind of help nurture those folks that are already in your CRM. So it's a pretty remarkable, comprehensive marketing system. So they had a big convention. Speaking of remarkable, a word from our sponsor on that note. So yes, remarkable marketing system for realtors, and they just had their conference, and Todd was fortunate enough to be there amongst the superstars that were there at the conference, and he used his remarkable device to take remarkable notes.
No, it was funny. We were supposed to be there in October. They ended up canceling it because of the mask regulations and stuff, and wanted everyone to be there to enjoy. 3 days in Vegas at a conference with the mask on is not comfortable. Obviously, that's been lifted, so it was a very good event. Staying at the Aria there. And there was 1,000 people. I mean, the last one he had 2 years ago, he had like 200 people. So his business has exploded over the last 2 years. And now that, obviously he's had, I think a lot of people have gone and looked for new platforms due to the better technology because of COVID, and how do I stay better in touch with my clients? And we've been with them for 3 years, and amazing. And Follow Up Boss was the database program that they pitched the entire time. Obviously, Follow Up Boss is there as well, and we've been with them for 9 years. And when we like something, we don't want to break it, we don't want to fix it, we don't want to replace it. It's something, and there are constant improvements that are being made there. And they just announced their convention coming up in November in Vegas. You're like, all right, let's go back in Vegas for 3 days. But no, it was good stuff. So diving in, and I'm just going to be reading my notes as I'm kind of talking, or just some of the top things. But things that they had, that were there. Daniel, some things that you want to know about is like, make sure every one of your people is in Ylopo Stars. They did talk about HomeBot imports. Make sure everybody's in there as well, because we just did a mail out to our database on HomeBot, which is a home valuation tool. And
someone's at my door.
Oop, that it's your Amazon package. the HomeBot will keep you updated on your value. It'll tell you about your interest rate, tell you about your equity in the house. It pulls your mortgage data from public records, and it'll tell you, hey, is it a good time to refinance? Or, hey, you should do this with your equity in your home, things like that. So if you're not using HomeBot, you should be using that.
Did you just say you sent a mail out inviting folks into your HomeBot?
Well, we have a lot of our people on HomeBot already, but we did a mail out about, hey, checking your quarterly home value. And I had 25 people respond to that email wanting updates or thinking about selling. So of those 25, we should probably see 2 or 3 listings come from that. So
I wanted
that was
to
a good
touch on
email
a
we
couple
sent.
things quickly. You mentioned how Follow Up Boss is really well integrated with Ylopo, and it is. Ylopo integrates really well with the CRM Follow Up Boss. And it integrates with a lot of CRMs, but it's almost like, you know, the CEOs of Follow Up Boss and Ylopo got together and made the ultimate integration. Yep. So I did see a lot of comments in the Ylopo groups that they were asking about Follow Up Boss. They had just come from the Ylopo convention and they were asking about Follow Up Boss. They use a different CRM, but they heard so much about Follow Up Boss there that they became interested in Follow Up Boss. So for if you're not using Follow Up Boss as a CRM, it's a great one. And so, you know, you want to check that one out. And HomeBot is what I want to touch on. Also, HomeBot is a system where you can register homeowners and it sends them a monthly digest of their home value and their interest rates and all kinds of things that just kind of keeps homeowners in your database engaged. And so Ylopo integrates really well with Follow Up Boss and HomeBot, which are 2 different systems, but Ylopo and Follow Up Boss connect with them all pretty well.
And there's a cost to HomeBot, but typically a lender will sponsor it with you. It's like $25 a month, I think, is what we're paying. So it's very inexpensive for what we get out of it. You know, one of the things they should say, you know, when you're talking to your opportunities that are coming in. Actually, I want to make a second comment. So Barry Jenkins is their realtor resident in there. He runs a very successful team there, and he wrote a book called Too Nice for Sales, and we all got a free copy of it. I'm just doing a little plug for his book. It is in the YouTube chat there, and we'll drop it in the Facebook chat later. For some reason, StreamYard doesn't let me post to all the places for comments, but Too Nice for Sales is his book by Barry Jenkins. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $10 or $15. And he gave it to all of us. It's a great book, great read, just simple content and text in there. Some ways to help generate some, you know, just different conversations with people. One of the things that on the first page of my notes that we wrote down was, you know, if a lead comes in, or if you see a lead come in with what they call a Y priority alert, you know, you don't just say, hey, I saw you were checking out the home at 123 Elm Street. You say, thanks for visiting my website to look at homes. That way they know why you're getting back to them or reaching back out. Just little stuff like that. It's behavioral texts. And then like Raya, which we've talked about, you know, don't ask if they want to go see the house. Give them some insight on the home. Hey, I saw you're looking at the house at 123 Elm Street. That's a great community. It's got an awesome golf course that's still open, or, you know, whatever. You want to give them some information on the neighborhood, not just the house, and then dive in and see what's going on there. Let's see what else.
Barry Jenkins, that book that you mentioned, Too Nice for Sales. I've heard a lot of great reviews about that book also. I haven't read it personally, but Barry Jenkins is, like you said, the realtor of residence or in residence for Ylopo and maybe also Follow Up Boss. I see him everywhere in those groups. And so he's always sharing incredible tips on how to be more successful with Follow Up Boss and Ylopo.
I'm trying to read the rest of my notes here. When you write on a remarkable, it is hard to read. And of course, I have a reading or handwriting like a 3-year-old. Some of the things like, you know, our databases, they're forever because we're getting people that are in our database and coming back into systems that are 3 years old. And even on the HomeBot stuff, Daniel Betancourt engaged on your website, on your home seller's website, and has not been active for the last 894 days. Right. So we've just re-engaged an old opportunity that was there.
That's gold. That's gold right there. All that re-engagement that Ylopo does a great job of getting.
Get that back.
I get notifications all the time that says so-and-so visited the website after, 84 days of absence.
Some of the other things they talked about, a lot of video. And so, obviously we're trying to block out time to up our video game, but send them video, do a series of videos. This was actually from Kyle Whistle, but do videos about the transaction process or the selling process. Like, all right, now this is when escrows due. Now this is what happens at inspections. Now this is what's going to happen at the closing table, et cetera, et cetera.
The transaction milestones. So congratulations on having your offer accepted. You're going to be hearing from members of my team. Introduce those members of the team. You'll also be hearing from the title company. So if you get emails from so-and-so and so-and-so, those are safe. They're with me.
No, I think the number one, I think the two best videos to be able to send to somebody is, one, the transaction milestone about your offer's accepted, what's next, and then two, the title company, because they always say, hey, I just got an email from Daniel at the title company and at ABC Title, and they're asking for my social security number and they want my wiring information. Are they legit? Right. Yes, Daniel, I worked with him for 20 years. He's legit. He just needs this information because they got to do some background stuff on you, and that's it.
Right.
And then like our opportunities that are coming in, have an email that goes out to them or a video that you can make evergreen. Hey, not say, hey, Daniel, hey, thanks for checking out my website. Appreciate you being here. If you see anything you like on the site, please shoot us back a text at so-and-so number. I'd be happy to get an appointment scheduled for you or dig in deeper. If you see someone's engaging a lot, I'm going to go in and create a personal video about, hey, Daniel. And, I think a lot of it comes down to a lot of these buyers we haven't met for the first time. Mm-hmm. And so it's taking the selfie video and saying, hey, Daniel, looking forward to seeing you at 2:00 today at the house at 123 Elm Street, just so you know who you're looking for. Because when they get to these houses, there's 20 people already lined up, waiting out front to go into them. So they're going to go see you instead of me because they didn't know what I look like and they probably forgot my name. Right. But they're going to look for my face and remember my name because I sent them an intro video.
Right. Yeah. You always want to, the more video you can incorporate to all of our real estate activities, I think you're going to definitely see a better return.
Yeah.
Because you're just adding to that personal touch, and it's a personal real estate game. So,
one of the other things that they talked about on day 2 was working, what we want to do with this business, and working on our 3-year and our 5-year vision, and working on our mission statement, which also becomes our why. And we've got that stuff done, but it's also, you want to keep revisiting the thing every quarter, because things change, team size change, strategies change, new lead opportunities come in with all that stuff. And let's see what else we've got here. Oh, there's this was funny from Tom Ferry. Come on. Sorry, the Remarkable is not cooperating because I can't flip the pages like a yellow pad.
I did see that Kyle Whistle was one of the guest speakers there, and he's been voted, he's been voted the top agent to incorporate video into his real estate business, if at least once, if not twice, for the year. So
yeah, he's huge on video, and they had him and his guy up there doing a bunch of video stuff. One of the things that where was it? I'm gonna go back.
His nuggets are always gold. Yeah. And then Tom Ferry, Tom Ferry was the keynote speaker. Did you say?
Yeah, him and Anthony Lamacchia. His was funny. He, there was some swearing up there, but he basically says, "Don't be a door bitch," and just run around showing houses. Talk to your people, learn about them. Don't just say, "Hey, right, I can jump and show you this house at 5:00," and never call the person back. Show them, engage with the people while you're there, so you can get in front of them. What the heck?
And Michael Hellickson was a guest speaker.
Yeah, he was on a panel, which I thought he should have had his own keynote because there's a lot of value. And when you get 5 team leaders up there who all are deep personality doing a panel style, there's a lot of like, no, this is how you should do it. And didn't think it was the best. I loved having him up there, but I think he could have done a much better opportunity for him
on his own. So they had different ideas.
Yeah. So the last thing that they had mentioned, or one of the last things they had mentioned, was there's 900,000 active listings in the MLS, and there's 2 million realtors. And that means there's a 2-to-1 chance you're going to sell that house. But if you look at the average area, we have 18,000 or 20,000 realtors in Orlando, and there's 2,000 active listings. So you have a 20-to-1 chance or 10-to-1 chance of getting an opportunity to sell that house.
Well, thankfully, thankfully for those of us that are doing business, selling homes, thankfully out of those 20,000 realtors that are in Orlando, a large majority of them are not, actually out there actively selling. Like, it's kind of that 80-20 rule where 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the business. So it's still, it's still a higher demand, but that's our job, to always make lemonade out of lemons. And so whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, there's transactions happening. So we just have to be the ones that are on top of them and be nurturing our past customers and staying in front of them and being the first person that they think of when it's time to transact real estate. So if we're doing that properly and we're talking about these awesome tech tools that can help us do that, that's going to give us the edge.
Well, I think that's huge. And the other part they talked about was like getting offers accepted, sending a video to the listing agent, actually talking to them, not just saying, here's my offer. You're not writing a bio about the buyer, but you're actually having a conversation with them, following up with them again, sending them a video about the buyers when you do send the contract in. So the more you can push yourself out there, the better. One offer we got last week on one of our listings, we had 23 offers, and I don't know why, but people are putting offers in this way, especially on this one that needs updating throughout. Listed at 450, agent sends in her MLS statistics to show that she's not just a onesie agent, and she sold 30 homes so far this year. And so when you send me that and a very strong offer, I could say to my seller, if I don't know her, typically, like if you send me an offer, I'm like, hey, here's a couple of offers. I know Daniel, he's going to get this thing across the board. His lender's awesome. But if I don't know you, I'm just going to say, yeah, here's Daniel's offer. I haven't not worked with him before, but it looks like a great offer. But then I got Johnny over here who I've done a ton of business with. Everything we've done is closed.
Right.
So you have your statistics and, business report backing it up to help push that offer. So I think it was great to have that strategy, but also like for us as team leaders, the team members should copy us on the listings or the offers they're sending out. So that way we can reach back out to those agents as well and say, hey, Daniel, Melissa just sent you an offer. I'd love to be working with you on this stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And, keep the authority in there.
Right.
No, they're not just working with one person or a brand new agent.
Yeah, that's definitely a good nugget to take away too. So, that was, we're kind of in the season of real estate conventions happening right now where a lot of them are happening kind of back to back right now. Club Wealth is actually having their listing agent boot camp starting today. So that was on the heels of Ylopo, and then there's some other ones coming up. So we're in that season, and it's always a great opportunity, to get some more real estate education. And you usually learn a lot and take away a lot of what's happening currently in the market and what tools and technology you can use and strategies you can use to improve your business. So if anyone out there, if you're a realtor and you are invited to one of these conventions, maybe talk to some more experienced realtors and see what they think of the convention and definitely consider going. But today's the Orlando Realtor Awards luncheon, isn't it?
Yes, we are there to celebrate. I'm one of the top 177 realtors of the top 1% in Orlando. So they're giving us an award up there for Diamond, recreated from last year as well. So I'm glad to have the second name to run at that. So we bought a table. That's why we got a bunch of us going. But it's gonna be cool because I love the events. It's good to connect with our locals and see people in person again.
Yes, that's awesome. All right. Well, I think this was a great comeback show. You have one more nugget?
I have one more nugget about conferences. Go to them because one of our friends from Tampa connected with a couple of agents and walked out with 3 referrals.
Nice.
So it's a great referral opportunity. The conference costs probably $3,000 of flight, food, everything else. But you're walking out with 3 referrals. There's probably $20,000 or $30,000 of commission generated right from those couple of conversations. So
that's a huge nugget because I'm not a frequenter at conferences, but I network with a lot of conference frequenters, and they say the amount of referrals that they get is incredible. And if you're in Florida, Florida's a hot spot for traveling and moving too. And so I think it even, probably 2X's our chances of getting referrals just because we're in Florida.
Yep.
So
that's how I built a lot of my referral business.
If anyone watching has someone If you're not a Florida agent, but you have a Florida buyer or seller, seek one of us out. We'd love to help them out.
We're here to help. All right, guys. We
Love it.
appreciate you. Happy Monday. And Daniel, I'll see you shortly.
All right. See ya.
All right. See you.